Have you ever noticed that fear and uncertainty keeps you from reaching your goals in life? This feeling that something can go wrong anytime, even when things are going smoothly, keeps us from truly enjoy our life and time we spend with the close ones. Today, we would like to uncover an ancient wisdom that will help you to get rid of the negative thoughts and affirmations. Welcome to Stoic Yourself and Conquering Fear, a 15-minute guided instruction. Stoic philosophy teaches that fear arises not from external events, but from our interpretation of them. By reorienting our thoughts and focusing on what is within our control, we can diminish fear's grip on our minds. In this session, we'll explore practical Stoic techniques to help you conquer fear. Step 1. Understand the nature of fear. Define fear. Fear is a natural response to uncertainty or potential harm. According to Stoics, it stems from our judgments about events, not the events themselves. Examine its cause. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Break the fear into specific concerns. For example, instead of, I fear failure, identify the specific outcomes you dread, e.g., losing a job, disappointing others. Distinguish between control and influence. In your control, your thoughts, actions, and choices. Out of your control, external events, others' opinions, or outcomes. Recognize that fear often arises from focusing on what lies beyond your control. Step 2. Apply negative visualization. Visualize the worst-case scenario. Close your eyes and imagine the feared situation unfolding. Picture it vividly. Assess its impact. Ask yourself, if this happens, what's the worst that could occur? Would I still survive or adapt? What resources or strengths do I have to address this scenario? Accept the possibility. By accepting the worst-case scenario, you take away fear's power. The Stoic Epictetus reminds us, what upsets people is not things themselves but their judgments about these things. Step 3. Shift perspective. Zoom out. Imagine looking at your fear from the perspective of someone far removed from your situation, or even from the perspective of the universe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Consider, will this fear matter in a month, a year, 10 years? How significant is it in the grand scheme of your life? Reflect on mortality. Remember that life is finite, and fearing events steals time from living well. This exercise, called memento mori, meditation on mortality, reminds us to focus on what truly matters. Step 4. Take action with courage. Reframe fear as a challenge. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." View fear as an opportunity for growth rather than an obstacle. Start small. Take a small, deliberate action toward confronting your fear. For example, if you fear public speaking, start by speaking to a small group. If you fear failure, set a low-risk goal and pursue it. Practice voluntary discomfort. To build resilience, engage in small acts of discomfort. Examples include taking a cold shower, skipping a luxury, or fasting briefly. These exercises teach you to endure difficulties with grace. Step 5. Reflect and repeat. Journal your experience. After applying these techniques, write down what you feared, how you reframed and addressed it, how you felt afterward. Repeat daily. Conquering fear is not a one-time event but a practice. Dedicate time each day to applying these principles. The more you practice, the less power fear will hold over you. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Conquering fear is not about eliminating it, but learning to live above it. By embracing Stoic wisdom, you can cultivate the courage to face life with calm and confidence. Stoic philosophers offer a treasure trove of insights on how to face and conquer fear. Their approach emphasizes rational thinking, self-discipline, and a profound acceptance of life's uncertainties. Here are additional thoughts and techniques based on Stoic principles. 1. Fear as a teacher. Reframe fear as a guide. Fear signals areas where we may grow. Marcus Aurelius advised seeing challenges as opportunities to practice virtues like courage, patience, and resilience. Ask questions. What is this fear teaching me about myself? How can I use this situation to become a better person? 2. The dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can control, Epictetus stressed this central tenet. Fear often arises from worrying about things beyond our control. By focusing on our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we eliminate much of fear's power. Release the rest. Say to yourself, "This is not up to me, and I will not waste energy fearing it." 3. Practice premeditation of adversity, premeditatio malorum. Mentally prepare for challenges. Imagine potential difficulties you might face during the day or in life. By rehearsing them mentally, you reduce their emotional impact if they occur. Build resilience. Knowing you've prepared yourself reduces anxiety. As Seneca wrote, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." 4. Fear and death. Embrace mortality. Memento mori, fear of death, underpins many other fears. By reflecting on our mortality, we can focus on living meaningfully rather than wasting time worrying. Marcus Aurelius. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Neutralize the fear of death. Accept that death is natural and inevitable. Focus on the life you can control, not the death you cannot. 5. Detachment from external outcomes. Avoid attachment to results. The Stoics remind us to do our best but detach from outcomes. Seneca wrote, "If you wish to fear nothing, consider that nothing is worth fearing." Redefine success. Success lies in the effort, not the result. Fear loses its hold when outcomes no longer define your worth. 6. Rational examination of fear. Challenge irrational thoughts. Fear often thrives on exaggeration. Ask yourself, is this fear logical? What evidence supports or contradicts it? What is the likelihood of the worst-case scenario? Practice Stoic logic. Fear is a product of false beliefs. Replace those beliefs with reason. 7. Build courage through action. Act despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear but the mastery of it. Seneca encouraged taking small, deliberate steps to confront fears. Practice courage daily. Make a habit of doing one thing each day that scares you, however minor. 8. Perspective on life's transience. Zoom out. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to see life from a cosmic perspective. When viewed against the vastness of the universe, most fears seem trivial. Time's flow. Consider how fleeting everything is. What seems overwhelming today will fade with time. 9. Live according to virtue. Anchor in virtue. The Stoics emphasize that a virtuous life is fearless. If you act justly, honestly, and with integrity, you have nothing to fear. Ask yourself, am I acting courageously? Am I being true to my principles? Would a wise person fear this? 10. Acceptance and amor fati, love of fate. Accept what is. Fear often arises from resistance to reality. By embracing what happens as part of the natural order, fear diminishes. Nietzsche later borrowed from this Stoic idea, calling it amor fati, or love of fate. 11. Surround yourself with wisdom. Learn from Stoic role models. Study the lives of Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. See how they faced adversity and fear with dignity and courage. Internal dialogue. Imagine what these philosophers would say to you in moments of fear. 12. Gratitude as an antidote to fear. Shift focus to gratitude. Fear often narrows our view to what might go wrong. Gratitude expands it to what is going right. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Final thought. Fear as a shared human experience. The Stoics understood that fear is part of being human. They didn't aim to eliminate fear entirely, but to learn to coexist with it, master it, and use it as a catalyst for growth. By practicing Stoic principles, you can transform fear into a stepping stone toward a more courageous and virtuous life. Thank you for being with us today, and please consider subscribing.